Hi, Ben. Welcome to
Hi,
the Banker to
Lisa.
Broker podcast.
Well, thank you for having me. Well, where should I start? I started working as the co-op student with the Yellow Bank, I guess, like in 2001, a long time ago. And after I graduated, I worked for CIBC for about 2.5 years. And then I
Hmm.
worked for a credit union in BC called Vancity for 9 years. And
Wow.
and then after I worked for Scotiabank for 7 years as a home financing advisor, a mortgage specialist, pretty much. And then 2 years ago, I left Scotiabank to be a mortgage broker.
20 years. That's
Yeah,
amazing. And 20 years can be like almost a full career for some people. So what really made you want to make the transition?
I transitioned from Vancity to Scotiabank because I thought Scotiabank is a lot bigger bank and
Hmm.
more stable.
Yeah.
At the time when I left Vancity, they were having the issue with the credit crunch, capital adequacy. So they have to increase the rate quite a bit, turning down a lot of files. So I went to Scotiabank thinking that it's better to join a big bank and
Yeah.
they will never have that issue. But lo and behold, it happened again as with Scotiabank. And I thought about my career, my family, long term. What is better? What is better? Is it better to stay with a single bank or leave and be a independent mortgage broker? I thought about
Hmm.
it hard, and the he's a great guy. Jason Marshall. He used to be
Hmm.
my boss at Scotiabank, and he actually reached out. We were talking, and actually decided to be a mortgage broker. Yes, and I was speaking to other people as well who used to work with Scotiabank and then left to
Hmm.
be a mortgage broker, and everybody was like very encouraging. They said you should
Yeah.
make the switch. When I left Scotiabank 2 years ago, say two, and Scotiabank, I think a lot of if you're in banking, if you're in mortgage industry, you would remember this.
Hmm.
Scotiabank lent out quite a bit during COVID times,
Yes.
and they are actually running low on capital.
Right.
At least that's what I was told, in a sense, because
Hmm.
we are about 0.5% higher than everybody else. And I
Hmm.
work hard on files only to lose them last minute. It happened over and over and over again. It was very discouraging after about a year
Yeah.
because that's something that happened with Vancity years ago when they had issue with capital adequacy. I work on files, but all the rates were just too high. And
Hmm.
people left, and I don't blame my clients because I can't. They need to do whatever is in best interest of their family as well. So um then I said to myself, if I just stay with one bank, one
Yep.
lender, and if that lender has an issue, that becomes my issue. When there's a big gap and people leave, then what can I do? It's outside my control. I can only do so much. Banks have different boxes. And if
Hmm.
a deal doesn't fit in one box, you have no other alternative. You have to refer out and or say, I'm so sorry, I can't do this for you.
Hmm.
Um, on being a broker, I can say yes most times, almost not, I can't say 100%, but most times I can give an answer. Say, yes, I can do this for you. I have an A lender option. I got alt option for you. Hey, you have no income, no backup plan. What do we
Yeah.
do? But let's see if any of the private lenders will be willing to work with you and provide a solution. So right now we are actually, as you know, in a very tough market.
Hmm.
But I've been helping my clients through this journey and say, hey, we have issues say appraisal. And
Hmm.
then they are not big fan of a lot of lenders. They don't like appraisal condos nowadays, or there's a bit of real more risk there. Then how do we do this?
Hmm.
But I found another solution for you. Let's go with this lender.
Yeah.
It is and I'm a problem solver. I like solving problems, and it is fun.
Mm.
If you can find the perfect lender for a client, it's a great feeling. We have access to so many lenders. And
Hmm.
even though they look similar, they have niche. That
Hmm.
this lender A versus lender B, they look identical on the outside, but once you talk to the BDMs,
Yes.
you know they're different. They have big differences. And if you
Yeah.
find the perfect fit, there you go. Why not? Then go there, right?
100%. Yeah. And different exceptions can be made too. And your relationships with them can vary as well, right?
Oh, relationship is very important. That's
Yeah.
something I learned and which I actually enjoy. That's one aspect I really enjoy as a mortgage broker. You build relationship with all the BDMs, different lenders, and learn
Yes.
about their risk appetite.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
that's it. And it's not all 100% like set in stone, right? There's a little bit
Mhm.
more subjectivity, I think.
Yes, the I remember talking to a lender, and then it was a very, very tough file. And
Hmm.
it got turned down by other lenders. Turned out by A lender, B lender, and it came to me. It's like, what do we do? It's like we have like less than a week. And even among some private, they looked at it. It's like, yeah, sorry, you can't do it. It's not.
Really?
But then I did find one lender. Um, I guess, calling from involved, a great guy. Yeah, he actually made it happen. Last minute, it was like, let me make some phone calls and made exceptions. Just amazing, just
Wow.
amazing. So yeah.
Yeah. That's a really nice space to be, I think, w with having more flexibility and a lot more common sense lending. And it's kind of a
Hmm.
trend I'm seeing too of more and more lenders coming into the marketplace, taking a look at what's already out there and
Hmm.
a full probably market survey of what are the biggest issues with lenders and what do brokers and clients really want to work with. And it's more the common sense lending approach. And I know like DLCG, the group, we're part of Mortgage Architects, part of DLCG, Canada's biggest mortgage broker network.
Hmm.
We're a force. We're going to do 78 billion this year in mortgage origination, which is
Wow.
twice as much as any financial institution or bank. And we've just come out with our own lender called Heartwood
Oh, amazing.
Financial. Yeah,
Yes.
it's new to marketplace. You don't quite have it in BC yet, but it's coming.
Mm,
It's only in
right.
Ontario, but they're on their way out there. And what they do is they take that common sense lending approach. That's their whole thing.
Mm,
And I
that's
think,
great.
yeah, and they're a non-B20 lender, but I think what's going to really cause a big interest there is
Hmm.
the fact that um, they have like less set regulations and they're more like, let's make it make sense. And if there's a deal there, there's a deal.
It's always good to have another lender. And
100%. Yeah, we always
yeah.
want other lenders,
Yes,
right?
yes. I love common sense lending. I love it. And
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
like getting information about the company because I also licensed in Ontario and
Yep.
through
Oh,
ABW Ontario. So I've been getting emails about it and I was
oh,
like
great.
quite curious,
Yeah.
yeah, to learn more
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that they've only been 4 months at it and they've already done
Yeah.
like very high volume.
Oh,
So,
amazing.
and they've had good feedback. Yeah, so it's pretty exciting stuff. And just to speak to the relationship side too, I think that I actually saw an article come out yesterday, I believe, and it was all focused basically on how brokers and like BDMs and lenders work together and how unique and important
Hmm.
that
Oh,
relationship
yes.
is
Yes.
to your success as a broker and to your ability to get deals done. So there is a lot more, there's a lot more personality
Hmm.
involved. It's not,
Yes.
this side is so much less transactional and it's
Mm.
so much more relationship oriented.
Yes. Oh, well, that's like number one thing.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a mortgage broker and you expect to know all the policies of like 70, 80, 100 lenders, and it's just impossible. Like
Yeah.
when I worked for Scotiabank, all I had to worry about was that one particular bank. But now as a mortgage broker, I need to study all the policies for hundred. It just I thought I could do it. I had an Excel spreadsheet and
Yeah.
create database, like all the policy differences. But at the end of the day, it is really difficult to know everything. So you need to rely on BDMs. They're the
Hmm.
professional. They know their policy
Hmm.
inside out. So um, when a deal comes, I think about the deal. I know which lenders will be a great fit, and then I would call the BDMs. When I get a deal, I actually analyze it. Once I think I found, so I probably pick like top three lenders.
Hmm.
for that
Yes.
file, and then I'll call the BDMs. Say, hey,
Run by them before
run by them.
submission.
It's,
Yeah.
hey, what do you think about this? Like, in the uni side, it's a pretty big thing too. Anybody condo is like, what if it's 450 square feet? It's like
Yeah.
550. What is your minimum? Can you confirm I have notes from before? Can you confirm this is current? Can you do the 450 or so? And then everybody's so helpful, and I'm
Yeah.
really blessed to be here with ABW because we had the best BDMs. I think we
Yes.
had actually think we had the best BDMs here. So, and they
Yeah.
wanna see you succeed.
I
They
think it
want,
works out
yeah.
nicely too on this side because if you think about it, we are the clients of the lenders. Now you're not
Mm-hmm.
their employee. They know that you have other offers
Mm-hmm.
and competition, right? So they're
Yes.
competing for that deal too for
100%.
your business. So
Yes.
they're a lot more likely to make exceptions because they're incentivized to do so. And
100%.
as we said, like it's a little overwhelming to try to remember every lender's suite of products and whatnot. The reality is, guys, though, like nobody does. Most brokers pick like 3 to 5 lenders and
Right.
they choose to go deep into those relationships rather
Mm-hmm.
than broad. And that's
Yeah.
where we see a lot of the success because they build up their status
Mm.
with that lender, their
Yes.
rapport, and they're able to, through those relationships, like
Mm.
really excel. And there's also tools out there, like I know in Velocity, we have Discovery
Yes.
where you can just enter basic deal details and
Mm-hmm.
say like, I'm looking for a prime or alternative, 3-year fixed or variable. Um, in this location, you can even
Mm-hmm.
get down to like septic sewage, whatever
Yeah.
the property may be.
Nice.
So you can be very general or very specific. And the
Mm-hmm.
AI now, where AI,
Oh yeah.
areas, we're really seeing it come into this space, kicks in to make suggestions for where that
Mm.
deal's a fit. So they'll
Mm-hmm.
give you, here's the rates, here's the top ones we recommend. And it's not just, the big banks. You can even select,
Yeah.
I want to look at the privates available and
Mm-hmm.
things like
Yeah.
that. So from the get-go coming from the bank, like you're never alone, you're never
100%.
kind of hung out to dry. Like I'm just gonna throw something against the wall and hope it sticks. That's not the situation, right?
The BDM relationship is very important. At the
Yeah.
same time, is building relationship within your broker is very important.
Yes.
The I think next to knowing the BDM, second thing is well, okay, they are equally important because you
Hmm.
need to know, say, something goes wrong and you want to talk to somebody. Sometimes, like instead of talking to BDMs, you want to talk to colleagues with more experience. And building that relationship is I think, is very, very important. When I'm super stressed, I want to talk to somebody. It's good always pick up the phone and call your buddy,
A hundred
right?
percent. Like, who
Yeah.
doesn't have a work friend or somebody that you can vent to, you can
Mm-hmm.
trust. It is so important. And also, not only from, misery loves company and to like feel like we're not alone in this, but also from the aspect of learning from each other because brokering is an experience-based business. Like there
Yes.
is not really a playbook on it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
every deal is different, and you're going to get a lot of scenarios that come up that you need advice. And,
Yes.
maybe your mentor isn't always available, or maybe it's not their area of expertise. So that's another thing to, yeah, consider when picking your placement. Make sure that you have
Yeah.
access maybe to a larger group of people. Like we have a Facebook forum for all, mortgage architects agents, and a lot of groups will have their own like WhatsApp chat or their own
Yeah.
Facebook. And sometimes that can be better than just going directly to one person because you're getting
Mm-hmm.
more than one opinion, more than one answer, and how many combined years of experience on the other end of those answers. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see questions go up, who knows a lender in this area that will do this kind of deal, and you'll see, it's not even more than a few minutes before the answers start coming in, and people they love to like get into two discussions about it, and you get so many good answers, and a lot of the time, those brokers, they have a lot of experience and they just love to share it.
One thing I found quite interesting is
Mhm.
that the brokers, the community in
Yeah.
general, all the brokers are very helpful.
They
They want
are.
to
Yeah.
help. I was quite surprised. I thought brokers would be very competitive and not share their secrets and but that's not true at all. All the
Yeah.
brokers that I met, almost any, I guess all the ones that I met so far, they're very helpful. They are very supportive. They want to see you succeed.
You know what? I hear that all the time. I think it's a misconception that we assume because, we're a business for self, technically, like we are each other's competition, but it's just it's not that way on this side. It's not that way. Like we all
No.
know how each other feels in that,
Yeah.
we're all just trying to feed our families and succeed at the end of the day, and there's more than
Hmm.
enough business to go around.
Yes.
And we can only, we do better when we work together. So
Hmm.
you'd be surprised just how above and beyond generous with knowledge
Hmm.
and experience and even, direct help. I've
Hmm.
seen, and I do continue to see brokers offer regularly, like way more than any
Hmm.
other industry or job I've ever seen.
The when I first joined ABW, we have like events like lender speed dating, private
Hmm.
lender all speed dating, and I met the top agents from the brokerage, and I actually got their information, called them, and hey, can I ask you a question? Can I take five
Yeah.
minutes of your time? And brand new broker, I'm still there's so much to learn, and everybody was so generous, especially the top people
Yes.
like those Chinese taste Onion Kumars like of like our office, they're so generous.
You know what? It's true. I find a lot of the higher volume ones are very humbled, right? And they're
Mm,
very appreciative of what they have built and they know what it takes to get there. Like,
mm-hmm,
it's truly something that they do on their own blood, sweat, and tears. And that is the business of being BFS. You,
mm-hmm,
you own every, element of your business, everything. So, everything of it is all you went into that, so they're very familiar with the struggle, and maybe it's a little bit of empathy in there that they're just more
mm-hmm,
than willing to help out when asked, because they're probably also a bit of pride and ego in that too, right? They're proud of
mm-hmm.
what they've done, so why not show it
Yeah.
off, right?
Yeah, it was a great help for someone like myself. I've been a
Yes.
broker for 2 years now, and my first year, it was of course
Mhm.
lots of learning,
Yeah.
lots of learning. The fact that I have my colleagues like JB, and
Hmm.
every I call them, they're happy to talk. And it was a great, like Jackie, even the Derek and Dean, the partners, Jason, is like they're so helpful. So it's
Yeah,
been an
even though.
amazing experience.
Yeah, even the owners of that group in particular are very open, and they themselves have a ton of industry experience. So that's another
Hmm.
important thing I think to look for in a team in a new home is owners or mentors who
Hmm.
have been there before, and even
Right.
better if they have been at the bank too, because then they can understand your transition mindset and your transition journey, and they can like help prepare you for that, right?
Yes. I think the owners built amazing culture here. I think culture
Hmm.
is very, very important. And because they're so
Yeah.
helpful and they built a culture of I guess community, they build great community. So we are all happy to help. Like you go to these events and you see
Hmm.
all the top performers and they're just very engaging. They always have to talk to you and yeah, the
Yes.
culture is amazing here. So
Culture is everything too, because you know it's how you feel when you show up every day on the job. Like, you want to feel appreciated, you want to feel
yes.
supported, you want to feel
Hmm.
seen, and that's human nature. So it's only natural that you want to be in an environment that's going to support that.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your initial journey. Okay, you made the exit from the bank.
Yeah. Hmm.
You left, you found your team. What was that, kind of first step? Like what was the first phone call you made after you left, or how did you get the first 10 deals coming in?
The it my I call my realtors. That's
Hmm.
you gotta know your business.
Yeah.
You gotta know your referral sources. I get more than half of my deal from realtors.
Okay.
So I call my realtor friends and say,
Hmm.
hey, how you doing? By the way. I'm no longer with Scotiabank, and I'm a licensed mortgage broker.
Yeah,
And
that's so
and
important.
and they were so happy to hear that because instead of saying no, I can say yes. Last minute, quick file, quick close, like issue with income, issue with credit. I have access to many lenders now. So they were very happy that I
And
became a
hey, they were
broker.
happy to hear. Yeah, that's never going to
Yeah.
be a negative conversation. I find that's a big common misconception is that people are going to be disappointed that you're no longer attached to one label. But
Hmm.
it really isn't the case because now you can say, "Hey, I have access to Scotia, TD, BMO,
Hmm.
and also the monolines and the privates and the
Yeah.
alternatives. Here's my, new suite of products. I'm pretty much unlimited in what I can offer you now." Like that conversation is always a positive one.
Yeah. So, I was a Scotiabank HFA.
Hmm.
But when I came out, I learned that Scotiabank has a broker channel that's like probably one of the biggest in the country. And I have access to almost
Yes.
all the products at Scotiabank, just like before. So,
Yes,
and
Scotia's
yeah,
huge. Yeah.
it's huge. And I also have access to TD Bank
Yeah. And TD. Yeah.
and then all the monolines.
All the First Nationals, MCAP, RMG, fantastic lenders to work with.
And based on what I know, Bank of Montreal is already operating out of Ontario, and then they're
Yes.
coming to Alberta and BC.
Yeah, they're coming your way soon. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be great to have BMO.
Yes, it will. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and there's talks of other lenders coming back too. I think the one common thing on this side is that it's never stagnant. Like there's always going
Mm-hmm.
to be new lenders entering in the market space because it is such a fruitful side to be
Mm-hmm.
on. And we are seeing trends of more and more banks choosing to come back into the broker space because the sheer amount of volume to be done here. And
Mm-hmm.
now it is actually more mortgages, more than 50% of mortgages are done by brokers versus banks. So that number has really switched over time, and the broker channel has now surpassed,
Wow.
yeah, the bank in-house specialists. Exactly. So they're recognizing those trends and, saying, okay, well, maybe we need to get a piece of this marketplace.
I think it makes sense for more banks to enter the market, and it is for benefit of the clients. Like people now, some people they say, "Oh, I only bank with bank A, and I'll never leave."
Hmm.
Like good for you, but what if a bank B offers better options for you?
Yes.
And all the
Yeah.
banks have similar products, but there are differences.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
TD Line versus Scotia, Step, they're similar but slightly different.
Hmm.
Why not explore differences, right? And
Yeah.
Manulife has a Manual One product, which is great. So why not
Yes.
explore that option?
That is a great one too. I've learned more about that one recently. And it's also not a one size fits all, like situationally, if you have to break your mortgage with the bank, that's a major life altering penalty you're looking at paying. And,
Hmm.
probably 99% of people say, well, I just bought this house,
Hmm.
or we just, we're not moving. Of course, this is
Hmm.
our home. But the one thing constant in life is that, changes happen. Things happen when you
Hmm.
least expect. And, you
Yeah.
know, job changes can move you, job
Hmm.
losses, loss of family members and many things can happen, separations, divorces, many things can happen that have to lead to, unfortunately, breaking that mortgage. And truthfully, if you look at the numbers, a monoline is a way better option if that is a potential scenario for a client because their penalty is way lower.
Hmm.
So First National, for example, like their rates are slightly higher, usually like point something basis points higher.
Hmm.
But if you can look at that as like your mortgage insurance, so that
Hmm.
point whatever difference you're paying, that you versus what you would be paying with the big bank, that's your insurance if you have to break that mortgage, right? And
Oh,
if you
First
look at
National
the
is amazing.
actual
Yeah.
difference in the amount, it's not a lot.
Hmm. The First National has amazing turnaround time.
Yes.
They have amazing underwriters, had a great experience with First National. And you
Hmm.
know, MCAP and Strive and all these different monolines, they're amazing in what they
Yeah.
offer.
Yeah, they're very well known in this industry for their services, for service levels for sure. Great products. They treat the brokers too so well, and
Hmm.
their technologies, their systems, their whole flow, their process. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. Yeah, everybody ha has great things to
Yeah.
say.
So many, their BDM's amazing, RFA is amazing BDMs. I mean, I feel bad because there's so many of them. It's hard to mention all of them, right?
Honestly, yeah, they do have amazing beatums. All of them have amazing beatums, but RFA always has the best swag at all the conferences, so I always beeline it to their booth.
I have RFA hats, like
RFA
two,
has,
actually
oh,
three now. I
I've
wear them
gotten
for
like
golf when I play golf.
I've gotten like shoes, like yeah, hats, shoes, soccer balls. They take their brokers away on a trip too. If you do a certain amount, they take you to like Italy or they change the location every year. So a lot of the lenders on this
Hmm.
side,
Yeah,
the monolines especially, will do amazing incentive programs like that are very
100%.
achievable for somebody coming from the bank who does decent volume. It's very achievable to get to that level on this side.
I feel a lot more appreciated being a broker.
Yes, yeah.
When I work for Scotiabank, I had great colleagues and everything's great. Um, but I do feel more appreciated, uh,
Yes.
honestly, being a mortgage broker. Yeah.
100% because you're a client of the lender, right? You
Hmm.
don't work for them. They work for you essentially, right? Because they're
Yeah.
buying for your client's business. So the incentive programs are even for, Manulife Insurance, we have a really great mortgage insurance product on this side that our brokers offer through MPP, Manulife Protection
Mm,
Plan. And it's such a great insurance policy because it allows partial insurance, so they don't have to
mm,
take both life and disability. They can take either or, and it's portable. So it's the forever
hmm
young policy. Like it allows the client to take that insurance with them for the lifetime of the mortgage, even if they change lenders, wherever they go. So
hmm
they're paying only the monthly fees that they were initially assessed at, which,
mm,
most mortgages are 25 years amortization, right? 25 years. So think about
hmm
if your insurance company is going to assess your monthly premium when you're 30 years old versus when you're,
hmm
55, I think or 50, 45, whatever, your monthly insurance your insurance assessment is going to go up a lot when obviously we have a bit of more age tucked under our belts. So it's a great program, and their incentive is, if you do a certain amount, they take you on all expenses paid trips, and even the compensation for that is like more than $1,000 just, from having that
Y-
conversation with a client.
Yeah, you'd be yeah, I was surprised. I was shocked to see the compensation they provide.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wow, it's a lot more than I expected, so
I think at the banks it's like a couple hundred, right? And you have like a goal of a certain amount of policies you need to hit, or you're getting sent to the principal's office
oh my God, I went to the office every
every time then.
every quarter. And
Okay, so we
yeah,
know your insurance sales is not the best.
yeah, I guess I should offer the MPP has a great disability option, honestly.
Yeah.
If you've done the instead of there's MPP has a great disability coverage. I believe that's what I learned.
Yes, they
And
do.
then MP is great product for the person product. And then of course, but the I guess I should have focused on insurance sales more when I was with yeah, the big banks, but I
You
didn't. So,
should. Yeah, and it's I don't even like to call it sales because it's such a great product, and the bank is
yeah.
gonna sell them on their insurance if
Yes.
you're not having that conversation with them. So,
Hmm.
it's more I would just say like there's three questions you should ask a
Hmm.
client instead of
Yes.
doing a sale to them, and
Yeah.
those revolve around like, okay, do you have insurance through work? Most people are going to say yes. Okay, what is the actual coverage amounts?
Right.
Okay. have them figure that out, and then
Mm-hmm.
what are your monthly expenses actually? Then have them compare those two numbers and say, if something were
Mm-hmm.
to happen, would you be able to get by? So maybe that's
Right.
four questions, and then
Yes.
that's it. That's usually all you need to ask.
That's amazing, actually. You should
Yeah,
be an MPP specialist. That's like
I
very
should be
good.
MVPs.
That's really good.
Yeah. Well, I like the idea that it's more education and like consultation than like, forcing like a product down a client's
I agree 100%. It's
yeah.
very important to let the client know
Yeah.
about the option available, right? But I remember
Yeah.
I remember selling an NPP one time to a client who's a scuba diver.
Oh,
He's a scuba
wow.
diving instructor, right? And then
So disability for sure.
this for sure. He actually couldn't get life coverage from any the insurance companies
Oh, wow. Okay.
because of what he does, right?
Yeah,
And
it's a dangerous job.
yeah, and but he was when I told him, hey, you can qualify, you can get life insurance through MPP. He was super happy.
That's amazing. That's a great
Yeah,
story. Yeah.
seriously, because I called the like a BDM, I guess, just to make sure, hey, can we cover this client?
Hmm.
And the answer was yes.
Wow.
Yeah, seriously, it was amazing.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's really
Yeah.
good to hear. Yeah. So what have you tapped into any niche markets that you weren't able to serve before, or more so like the private side?
Yes, alt, for sure. Alt lenders are amazing. We have great alt lenders. And as well, private, yes, private for sure. But one big
Hmm.
niche market I'm focusing on is reverse mortgage.
Okay, 55
Yeah.
plus.
Yeah, 55 plus, we
Yeah.
have technically four lenders now in this space. Plus, if you consider Fraction as a reverse mortgage provider, you have five, but they're kind of in between private and reverse. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, we have Chip as always. They've been always been around for a long time. Equitable has great product. Bloom has great product. Home Trust, I think for equity access, they just joined the market. They're not available in BC, but they are available in Ontario. Um,
Okay.
so I've been focusing on learning different policies and so it's like quite fascinating. They look similar on the outside, but if you want to go into the detail, they're quite different.
Hmm.
Chib is amazing when it comes to when you have rental property. Chib is great. They offer inter alia, second charge behind their mortgage. Other banks don't, right?
Yes, that's
Yeah, and
great.
Equitable has a great product. Very flexible. We They also Bloom has they have a prepaid MasterCard program. Bloom has the $2,000 a month prepaid up to 2,000 so that they can have access to equity easily, right? Instead of calling the
Wow.
bank,
Yeah.
right? Um, and then I'm sure Home Trust will have very competitive product as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, you saying I call the BDMs on regular basis to learn, and they're just amazing. They all have amazing great BDMs. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's great. That's good to know. I love how much I can see you've dove into the market, the alternative space here, because it is so important. It always kills me when I hear of a broker who's only really focused on A. And
Mm,
I think like, yeah, the market and rates and bank rate, they're just so it's so volatile that you really
hmm
need to have that in your back pocket of, at least one or two alternative Bs and private lenders that you work with. Because, and let's be honest, like the payout on that side is high too. If
hmm
you put a client in a private, usually that's a 1 year term, and the goal is
hmm
to get them out of that, right?
Yes, yes.
It's a financial rescue plan. And
hmm
in a private lender, you can charge broker fees.
hmm
So you're already getting, extra compensation there. And then typically the basis points are higher.
hmm
And then on the alt side, like they can go up to 140 basis points if you're looking
hmm
at B lenders. So
Yes.
it's a huge market. And if you are a banker coming to this side, I think that one of the reasons it would be just to have access to this side and getting paid three to four times as much per file as you were at the bank.
If you're a banker who wants to be a mortgage broker,
Hmm.
your knowledge of A lending will be great stepping stone
Yeah.
to be a broker. However, you can't stay there because we have access to many amazing lenders. We can
Hmm.
provide solutions to all lenders. They're private. So I think it is very important that you learn those new lenders. Like I recently I'm working on a file. It's about to fund next month. The client had a credit issue, property in a leasehold property, hard to get financing. But with a bigger cash flow issue, she had to get a second, a private, to pay out
Hmm.
all the debt. Like her credit was it wasn't very strong. Um, but
Okay.
then we got the private pay out. We paid out all the credit card debt, lines of credit, all the high
Right.
interest credit stuff, high interest rate stuff. And then that was like the beginning of the year. And now I had a talk and I called her and we're talking and then she was like, can you review my file once again and see if you can find better solution?" So now I actually got a approval through a lender, paying out both private and
Wow.
A. And her credit improved so much in like 8 to 9 months, so much.
That's crazy.
So I was so excited. It's like, wow,
Hmm.
good knowing it was a tough file, leasehold land. It's like, what do we do? But when I pulled credit, recovered so much so that I was able to transfer everything to a lender.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is why I'm a mortgage broker.
Exactly. I was gonna say
Yeah,
it's that like, puzzle piecing and being able to create masterpieces that
yeah.
and really actually help clients out more than just like, okay, approved stamped on paper. That I would think would make the job so much more fulfilling and interesting.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much fun.
Do you often have to buy down rates on this side?
Man, the when I first joined 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
it was so amazing. I didn't have to buy down rates. I went
Yeah.
to the banks and hey, the bank, this competition here. Can you do better? And I didn't have to buy it down. But A side to be competitive, you need to
Hmm.
buy it down.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And sometimes I buy down to my I make very little. But hey,
Yeah.
I'm helping client in this case,
You're
right?
still, yeah, helping them. Yeah. As long as you're kind
Yeah.
of educating them on what you're,
Yes.
sacrificing. I think that it goes a long way towards building that lifelong client relationship too. Because as a broker, a client should be a client for life,
Yes.
right? It's not just this initial transaction. Because then when that's coming up for expiration in 1 to 3 to 5 to 10 years,
Hmm.
you want to be there for the renewal refinance business. And that's a huge part of what brokers do.
That's why I mentioned earlier, we talked about
Hmm.
how crucial it is to learn about different side, all lending, private and reverse and other products, because if you focus on one A side only, you're missing out.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
I'm happy to focus on my A business. I'm happy to help my clients. At the same time, if you just stay on one side and focusing on that business, you're missing out on the other side. And actually, this is a great conversation because this is one of the main reasons I left the
Yeah.
bank, a major bank, because um I noticed even as for a bank mortgage specialist, I had to buy down all the time.
Mm.
I had to buy down all the time, and the banks they keep the target rates pretty high.
Yeah, that you always have to buy down at the bank. That's
Yeah,
I talk to bankers all day long, like all day long, and for
yeah.
them, buying down is the norm. And they can't really believe that on this side, it's not necessarily the norm.
It's the volume bonus. Like this is
Hmm.
something they don't know is,
Yeah.
we Scotia and TD we have like the best we have the highest tiers. We got 35 bit volume bonus.
Yeah.
That right there is probably higher than some of the what the bank specials are making.
Yeah. Yeah. Just the volume bonus
Yeah, those volume
alone.
alone. Yeah.
Right, because you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
finder's fee. So for those who don't know, there's finder's fee, which is like the basis of what you're getting paid essentially. But then there's also a thing called volume bonus, which,
Hmm.
that can range from an extra on top of the finder's fee, 0 to 50 basis points. And it's based off your status with the lender. And that's usually based off of, as the name says, the volume that, you and your team do. So one of the reasons you want to, be very careful with the team that you're joining is you want to make sure that they're going to get
Hmm.
you that top tier status and volume bonus,
Yeah.
the status as well, because with Scotia, for example, you
Hmm.
get a designated BRM. So
Hmm.
instead of going to a random deal desk and then, going to an underwriter you've never met, you hear back 5 days later, next thing you know, your client's gone into the bank and you've lost that deal. You're going to be working with the same BRM all the time, and you know each
Hmm.
other and you have rapport and better communications, and the turnaround time is just so much faster, and it really it makes a huge difference between whether you can get deals done or not. So very, very important to, ask a consultant such as myself,
Yes.
about a team, and what are the questions I should be asking that team. And, not every team is going to hand out that volume bonus too, because some
Hmm.
teams see it as like a collective pool, because it is from team volume, whereas other teams say, no, any deals you do, any finder's fees you get, we're going to pay you out in full on volume bonus.
Man, I was like so happy. I'm just looking back. I'm
Yeah.
2 years ago. I'm so glad that Jason reached out to me.
Oh, that's
Oh,
good. Yeah.
seriously, no joke. I'm so glad. I didn't know any of this stuff. I
Yes.
didn't know about the finder's fee and the volume bonus, like top tier status. I didn't know.
And you know what? But Ben, that's common. Like most bankers I talk to, they haven't heard anything. And if they have, it's because they have friends or ex-colleagues who have made the switch, but they don't know all the details, right? They
Hmm.
only know little tidbits. So they're not really able to kind of properly make a decision or form an opinion because they're lacking a lot of education. So, that's why what I do to educate people and kind of help understand the differences. Yeah.
Hmm. Oh yeah, finding team. We talked about culture earlier,
Yeah.
lender access.